Hi guys, my name is Lois. I'm a fourth year student at the University of Toronto and I double major in political science and in sociology. So at the beginning of this year, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I know so many hacks and so many tricks that I wish I knew in first year, and I'm aware of so many other things now that would have been so beneficial for me in my first 3 years of university. So I thought to make a video to help with people who are just starting university or people who are in their second year or third year, even if they're not aware of these hacks. So I feel like this might be in different parts, but I will start off with courses. So in terms of courses, under courses, I wish I would have been more strategic in my course selection. So at the U of T, you have three options. Either you double major in two programs, you double minor and a major, or you specialize in something. And other schools have different things that are compulsory or you have to do. But just speaking from U of T experience, how I started, I knew that I wanted to double major in political science and sociology. I didn't necessarily know what that was. I didn't know what that entailed. However, I knew that I was interested in politics and that I like sociology just sounded nice. And one of my friends told me that sociology is good to partner with political science. And I am going into law school later, so it just seemed like it makes sense. I didn't personally do any research on it. I would recommend that you do research on your program before you go into it so that you are aware. If you have older people that are in university and possibly even doing your program, talk to them. Even if they're not doing the same program as you, ask them to give you any tips and tricks about university as a whole, or ask them if they know any other people in their school who can give advice on your specific program. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would advise is when you're picking your courses, please look up your professors. Again, it really, really helps if you know older people in your school and specifically in your course. I'm going to talk about this when I talk about networking later on, but even if you're coming into a school environment where you don't know anybody, like I did, I moved to the GTA from Saskatoon, so I knew nobody when I first started. However, I made like on my first week, I was thinking about transferring out. I was done. I was over it. But I made a decision to talk to people. So I walked up to these two random girls in the cafeteria or like in the Davis building. And I just struck up conversation with them. I was like, I know this is awkward or weird, but I'm a first year student. I don't know anybody here. I know bold. And I just started talking to them. We're not best friends today. However, we're connected on LinkedIn. If I see them, we'll talk. I'll say hi to them. But then they connected me to this other person who knew everybody on campus. You literally could not walk with this person for 5 minutes without them dapping up somebody, saying hi to somebody. So they were very well connected. So talk to people. And what also helped was that these people that I talked to coincidentally happened to be in upper years than I was. At the time, I was like, damn, I don't have any people that are like in my level or year. But it really helped. So the person that was well connected happened to be in of my one of my majors. So he was a sociology major and something else. But then one of his closest friends was a political science major. So when I was doing course selection in the following year, he would even come and tell me that, yo, avoid this professor, or yo, take this course. This course is really good. It was a bird course, yada, yada. We should talk about bird courses because it can mess up your mind. But yeah, professors, look up your professors. If you have connections in the school, ask your older peers. Is that a contradiction? Ask the older people that you're friends with, which professors are good, which courses are good, and yeah. Again, there are some courses that need prerequisites, so be aware of that. You can see a course that you like and you might want to add it and you might even get in. However, if they see that you didn't take the prerequisite course, they can kick you out of the course. So be mindful of that. I never had that situation. It just kind of worked out for me because of my program requirements. They were very like chronological. So yeah. Also, now that I'm in fourth year, I see kind of like the big picture of all my courses. I see how when I first started, um, I did like the intro to stuff. And then after that, the first 2 years, there were like specific things that you needed to do. So for sociology, there was introduction to sociology where you talked about like education and sociology. There's everything in sociology. But then as the years go by, you have more room. Then like my requirements after like taking those like let's say Soc 101, Soc 110, Soc 109, yeah. After that, then it was take 2 credits worth of sociology courses at the 200 level. Take 2 credits worth of sociology or 2 credits 300 level and above, right? So that gives me a lot of room to choose. And with that, I wished I knew this earlier. Like it's hard for me not to be upset that I didn't know, but I'm hoping that like this reaches somebody and it helps you. But now I'm hoping to go into law. So law requires you to have like it's helpful to have connections and it's helpful to have experience doing something that can be related to law. What I didn't realize that the courses that you take in university can be added to your resume, and if on the courses you can show that you did some research, that you engage in like some analytical uh what's the word, like using spreadsheets, looking at data, transforming data into words, those types of things. If you're taking courses that are relevant to your intending field, it can help you in the long run. Nobody told me this, so I was just picking things. There was a time in second year where I thought that I was going to add education studies as a minor, so I was going to double major and minor because at the time I was tutoring kids, I was working as a kitchen instructor, I was just always around kids. So I was like, God, are you telling me that you want me to be an educator and yada yada yada? And I justified it with many things. And then I saw the money, and then I saw that it was gonna make me have like a fifth year because I added the education studies in my second year, and so I dropped it. However, I'd already taken 3 courses, so that's like UofT dollars. That's like $1,600. So I wasted money there, and then I basically wasted all of my electives on 3 courses in education studies and philosophy, which was the worst. I should make a video about the worst subjects I've taken. Anywho, so yeah, so having that direction. Also, for a course selection, I would suggest that you talk through with academic advisors. I haven't done it yet, but I wish I did it, and I'm still going to in my fourth year just to make sure that I have all my requirements and I'm able to graduate on time. But yes, talk it through with somebody. Try to map out your full university experience. Try to map it out. It'll help you in course selection. It will let you know, like it can set things up for you. So I was talking to somebody else who went to a different university, York University, and he was saying that he set his courses up in a way that like he did an introduction to, let's say, marketing in his first semester, and in the second, like the winter semester, he did topics or something in marketing. So it like it flowed through. Like if you set it up in a way where it's like you're taking a second year course in fall semester and then you take the third year equivalent of that course, many times it's the same exact professor. They might assign the same thing. I had another friend who in my school who did a political science specialist, and that one is just very like intense. Like you do like almost all the courses. And then she said that like she was taking, like, let's say, Paul 200 and Paul 300, and it was the same professor, and they assigned this exact same readings. All you have to do basically is just change your assignments to fit it. But it can help your mind, because especially with these two things, or two majors, you're going to read a lot. That's the other thing that I would honestly say as a sidebar. In researching your programs, please watch videos about what your program entails, what kind of things. I am not like, if I was in a math program, the mental breakdowns that I'm having because of school would be more frequent, because math stresses me out. I can do it, but it just stresses me out. However, political science, I love writing, I love reading. Some of the readings are boring, I can't lie. And it's a lot. It's a lot of content to continuously consume. However, I would rather this than math. But you also have to be prepared in that, again, for all my political scientists in the making, you're going to read a lot. You're going to write a lot. Your professors know they do not care or know or want to know that they're not your only, they're not your only class. Is that right, English? But yeah, they don't know. They don't care. They don't want to know. They will assign you 100 pages to read that week, and you must read it. And I'm not even exaggerating. Actually, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not. So yeah. Also, under course selection, like, make kind of a track. Like, write it down what I want to do in first year, in second year, in third year, in fourth year. What I want to do in fourth year, does it have any prerequisites, and when can I take it, right? And then also try to kind of make it so that your later years of university are more relaxing. So now if you're going to law school, graduate school, nursing school, anything, you want that year is a year that you're going to be sending out applications. Or likely, I'm taking a year off to do all of that because I had to focus on working my first 3 years, like to support myself. But you kind of want to make it easier for yourself, right? Also, in course selection, like I said earlier, pick the courses. And honestly, I'm so thankful that I'm fortunate enough to be studying something that I chose and not my parents chose for me, because they knew what I liked, right? And I had a lot of autonomy when I was picking my courses. So okay, let's say you've gone over the hurdle of picking your program. Please, when you're selecting your courses, especially in the later years when you have more autonomy, pick courses that would serve you. Pick courses that are interesting to you. Pick courses that sound like they would be in line with what you're doing. I want to be a lawyer. I want to get jobs as an intern or a law clerk. I want to be in like the legal space. Even I want to be in the political space. So my political science courses, I took a course called Human Rights, International Human Rights. That's on my resume. I took a course called Law, Race and Racism. That's on my resume. I took a course on wrongful convictions. That's on my resume. I've taken courses on criminology. I should put it on my resume. Like, courses that sound like that can make you sound whatever. And what you do in your courses can also be helpful. They're like, okay, I did research papers. I learned how to convert numerical data into. This is not what I did, Sha. I did it in second year and I don't remember anything from it. But courses that you can apply to that can give you a standing in the professional world. Also, if you're not interested in it, the likelihood that you will do well in it is not that good. Right? Sometimes even when I'm assigned like 4 readings for one class out of 5, it can be a lot. But if I'm reading and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, I did not know that. That can be like good in like conversation. It helps, right? So not only for your future, but like for you to do well in the course at the moment. So also on course selection, like I said earlier, I wasn't able to do a lot of extracurricular activities or as involved as I would have been in my first 3 years because, again, I was working to support myself and like pay bills and all that stuff while doing school. So all the extra time that I didn't have while like being in class, I was working. I would literally I would wake up, go to school, go to work, come back at like 2 a.m. because I work at a restaurant, and then do the same thing, rinse and repeat, right? So it was the first 3 years was hard in that regard, and whatever, we can talk about that at a different time. But my courses, that's why now when I have more time and I can work on my resume, I'm seeing that, oh, I can apply this thing that I learned in my course on my resume and say that like I'm like trained to do it. So that is also why for those people who are not able to be as involved in their school as they need to be, your courses are also very important and can give you the extra boost that you need. Also, on that note, again, for those people who don't have the ability or the capacity to um, to be super involved in school, make sure that your professor knows your name, especially as somebody that wants to go into the legal field. Recommendations, networking is so important. Who you know matters a lot, right? And that's what I've been hearing, and that's what I'm leaning into, and that's what everybody is saying. So again, I think I've been to one virtual office hour throughout my entire 3+ years of school. That's not something to necessarily brag about. However, my professors, especially in my like third year and above, knew my name. Well, the ones that were not in classes of over 100 people, they knew my name. But if you're able to, go to office hours. Make sure that your professor knows your name. Make sure that you are asking questions. So if you can't go into office hours, send emails and please speak up in class. For people who are shyer, I know that it's tough, but try, especially if you're not able to go to office hours. Please, 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 please speak up in class, or maybe even like on your break. Like for at UofT, we start at like 10 after. Let's say the class starts at 1. We would start lecturing at 1:10, and those, unless you're one of those professors that would just start randomly. But let's say you have that buffer before class. I know some people do it after class as well, like they finish 10 minutes early. But go and talk to your professor if you want it to be like, if you don't want to talk in front of everybody. But even talking in front of everybody, like it can build rapport. So now I have a couple of like from my third year, a couple of professors that I'm able to email and be like, oh hi, I would like I would like a recommendation letter from you. And they wouldn't be like, who are you? They will know who I am because I said, hi, my name is Lois. I hadn't thought about this, right? Also read your readings, but that's something else. But yeah, make sure your professor knows your name. If you can't go to office hours, speak up in class, ask questions, ask clarifying questions. Me now, if I don't understand something, I will raise up my hand and be like, sir, like today, like last week, we were talking like in my fourth year seminar, and then the professor just mentioned something and continued going. I rose up my hand and I was like, oh, sorry, this is about something that you said previously. Can you define this word? And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, I mentioned it and I didn't define it. So ask questions. Make sure your professor knows your name. This is all I'm going to say for this video, and I will do a part 2. Thanks for watching, and share with somebody that needs it, and come back to it if you didn't take notes. But yeah, thanks for watching.